Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all staying safe and sanitized. I miss you guys, but as you all know, learning does not stop. So let's go ahead and jump into our lesson for this week. So this week in writing, we're going to focus on how we can use adjectives to tell what kind and how many. And for those of you who probably forgotten what an adjective is, because I know we've been out of school for a little while, an adjective is a word that we use to describe nouns. So, for this first sentence, when I read it, I want you to think about what you notice about the sentence, or even if you spot an adjective, I want you to think about what adjective or adjectives you see. Jane had a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. I'm going to read it one more time. Jane had a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. So I want you to think about what you notice about this sentence. I'll give you some think time. Think, think, think. Okay, so if the first thing you noticed was that the J in Jane and the J in Jubilee were capitalized, then you are right. They are both capitalized. What adjectives do we see? What adjectives? Tap your brain. Think, think, think. Yes, toy and stuffed are both adjectives. So now I'm going to think, what if this sentence didn't have any adjectives? It would say, Jane had a chimpanzee named Jubilee. Thinking about that sentence, it doesn't tell us what kind of chimpanzee. Is it a real chimpanzee? Is it a stuffed toy? So, based off this sentence, we can see that adjectives really help us to understand what the sentence is really talking about. Okay, so now we have two sentences to look at, and while I read both of these sentences to you, the first time I read them, I want you to think about how these two sentences are alike or how they are the same. First sentence says, Jane had a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. I have a German Shepherd named Paisley. So I want you to really think, what is the same? What things are the same? Give you some think time. Alrighty, so there's about 4 similarities or 4 things that are the same between these two sentences. The first thing that I noticed that are the same is that both of these sentences have names in them. So we know in the first sentence, the name is Jubilee. Second sentence, named Paisley. So both sentences have names. The next thing that I noticed that are the same between these two sentences is that the names are capitalized. So we have a capital J for Jane, capital J for Jubilee, and a capital P for Paisley. The next thing is that they both have types of animals. So I know in the first sentence, my type of animal is a chimpanzee. And in the next sentence, my animal is a German Shepherd. And the last thing, which also goes back to what we're focusing on this week, is that both tell us how many. So I want you to think in your brain, how many German Shepherds in the second sentence, and how many stuffed toy chimpanzees in the first sentence. And when I count down from 3, I want you to shout it out. Think about how many. 3, 2, 1. If you said 1, go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back. Both sentences are talking about one type of animal. And if you want to know a secret, our key word that lets us know how many in these two sentences is the letter A, or the word A. So I have A, which means I have 1. And Jane had A, which means that Jane had 1. So nice job, scholars. Now, I'm going to read the two sentences again. And this time, I want you to think about the differences, or what is different. Jane had a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. I have a German Shepherd named Paisley. What is the difference? So the first thing that is really standing out to me is that the first sentence is past tense and the second sentence is present tense. So the first sentence says Jane had. I know that this is past tense because it's telling me she had it. So she doesn't have it right now. It's in the past. Next sentence, I have a. So I know that I have the German Shepherd right now. And the last difference, I want to see if anyone can read my mind and really think about what else is different. And give you some think time. So the last difference is that one sentence talks about a stuffed toy animal. And I know it's a stuffed toy because it says it. In the second sentence, it doesn't say that it's a toy. It says that it's a German Shepherd. So I know that the first sentence is a toy animal, while the second sentence is talking about a real animal. We are doing so well. Alrighty, now we have 3 sentences to look at. And while I read them, I want you to think about what changes each time that I read the next sentence. I want you to think about what changed and what was the effect of the change for each sentence. Okay. Jane has a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. Jane had a toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. Jane had a stuffed chimpanzee named Jubilee. So I see that from my first sentence to my second sentence, it went from has to had. So I know that in the first sentence, Jane still has it, but in the second sentence, she doesn't have it anymore because she had it in the past. Another difference I noticed from the first sentence to the second sentence is that it doesn't say what type of toy. So in the first sentence, I see it's a stuffed toy. The second sentence just says that it's a toy. So it could be a plastic toy. It could be any type of toy. So that changes the sentence. Last sentence, Jane had a stuffed chimpanzee named Jubilee. So the word toy has been deleted in the last sentence, which may cause some confusion about what kind of stuffed chimpanzee Jane had. Alrighty, scholars, so now it is time for our favorite part of writing. Well, it's my favorite part, and I know that you guys really enjoy it too. I know that we usually do this in the beginning of the lesson, but on these YouTube videos and through virtual learning, we're going to do it towards the end. So remember, this is not the time where you can ask your parent for help or how to spell certain things. I just want your brain to flow through the pencil and onto the paper. So your prompt is, if you ran for a year, where would you be? I want you to think about it. And before this video is over, I will tell you when to go. If you ran for a year, where would you be? So think about it. Make sure you have a paper and a pencil and that your parent or guardian has a timer or is watching the time for you, because you will have 7 minutes at the end of this video to write. If you ran for a year, where would you be? If I ran for a year, I probably would be in Florida, back home on the beach. So once you're done writing it, I want you can email it to me. Your parent can take a picture of it and send it to me, or even send it to me through Class Dojo, okay? So before I say go, I want you to still keep thinking. I want to thank everyone for watching this video and for sticking with us through this online learning. I know it's new for everybody. I miss my scholars so much. I'm going to go back. Ready, set, go.